Welcome to the Love, Laugh, Live chat show with the beautiful Dav Ubi and myself, Kutyal Garcha. Pyar Karo Hasso Ta Juk Juk Jio Wala show.
So our show is all about creating and guiding you on how to manifest a more fulfilling life that you deserve and desire, and how to raise your consciousness through loving, laughing and living. So my name is Devinder Ubi. I'm a life and spiritual coach, and sitting next to me, as always.
And my name is Kutyal Garcha, and I'm an empowerment and resilience coach.
So I know today we're having a real fun
Light-hearted
episode. Yes, so give us a bit of a, so what's lined up? Tell me exactly.
Okay, we've got lots of lovely things that I'm sure you'll all be very interested to hear. Should wedding outfits be worn more than once? What is your favourite thing to do on holiday? Your favourite country to visit? What has been your worst flight experience in terms of the passengers that you sat next to? I've also got a very beautiful passage from Meryl Streep, one of my favourite actresses, at the age of 74. Dav is going to have a chat with us about tea and the benefits. And then we're going to discuss at length The Laapata Ladies, which is a film that's lately on Netflix. So yeah, we've got a fun-packed, light-hearted show for you today, so I really hope you enjoy it. Do you want to start off? We can talk about ਵਿਆਹ ਦੇ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਚਿਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਪਾਏ ਸੀ ਜਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕ ਹੁਣ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਪਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ, ਪਾਉਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਉਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ?
You mean the actual wedding dress you're talking about?
Wedding outfit, yeah. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵਿਆਹ ਦੇ ਦਿਨ ਪਾਇਆ ਸੀ.
I think, to be honestly, I don't see ਅੱਜਕੱਲ ਦੀ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ wearing them again.
No,
ਨਹੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਦਫਾ ਪਾ ਲਿਆ ਵਿਆਹ ਨੂੰ ਪਾ ਲਿਆ.
Yeah.
But ਵਾਪਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ. I mean, we did. I remember my wedding outfit. I did wear it again. But a year later on my cousin's wedding, and I don't know, I got away with wearing it there, maybe because Srisiga was pink. But although it wasn't that much of an issue, I remember wearing it, and all the pare likka lage sige, you know, like with the fringe and everything. But I don't see them ajkal kudiyan wearing their wedding dresses again.
I think ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦਿਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਆ, you know, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਪਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਸੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਆਹ ਸੂਟ, ਉਦੋਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਮੰਮੀ ਹੁਣੀ ਇਨਕਰੇਜ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਇੰਨੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਖਰਚੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਇਹਦਾ ਲਾਹਾ ਤਾਂ ਥੋੜੇ ਜਿਹਾ ਲੈ ਲਵੋ, ਐਂਡ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਗੁੱਸਾ ਗਿਲਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹਨੀ ਦਿਨੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਵੀ ਚਲੋ ਯੂ نو ਦੋ ਚਾਰ ਵਾਰੀ ਪਾ ਲਿਆ ਫੇਰ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਯੂ نو ਕਿਸੇ ਤੇ ਵਿਆਹ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਪਾ ਲਿਆ, ਇਟ ਡਸਨਟ ਮੈਟਰ. ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੁਣ ਬ੍ਰਾਈਡਸ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮੋਸਟਲੀ ਇੰਨੇ ਭਾਰੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, ਯੂ نو you definitely know that she's the bride. है ना, सारी दुनिया ने पता होना चाहिए भी वो bride है. पर जे कोई होर ब्याह वाले कपड़े पावे उन्हां दे ब्याह ते, I think especially if it's the same color, है ना, करके जे ता वो लाल है ता वो भी लाल है, then I think there's a bit of conflict. मैंने पता भी एक ब्याह सीगा साडे कोई रिश्तेदारां दे विच दूर जा सीगा ता the bride wore no so a guest ने लाल अपना ब्याह वाला सूट पाया सी उन्हें उस दिन ते जेदा ब्याह सीगा, and कोई everybody was upset and quite angry about it. Yeah, they didn't like it करके इदा हुई सी कि people were asking her, are you the bride? So in that situation I don't think it's the right thing to do. But especially if it's the same colour, that's the only reason I'm saying.
They say you're the bride. What are you doing in the langar hall serving roti? You should be.
Oh, I don't think anybody serves roti. No,
but you think the bride, you know, she's out the way.
Yeah.
But it is funny though. I just talking about a memory. This is 2 years after I got married, and my brother was getting married. And I was sitting next to my brother obviously, and I was wearing this heavy orange gutte wala suit. It was my daj that had not worn, so I saved it especially for his wedding. And my papa is actually wearing a lighter suit. It was a pink, and it wasn't as heavy as my suit. So at the end of the sagan pande hunde sige pichu minnu paise pichu pai jande si mere choli vich. I was thinking just assume that mera suit para siga, that I must be the bride, even though I was on his right side. You know, obviously the girl sits on the left side. Yeah. But for me, I was thinking, what's going on here? And I was thinking, what going on? I'm burst by But I'm just thinking, it's just funny, people do automatically assume Jinnah para hoye suit, she's the bride, I suppose.
Definitely.
Probably that's what happens. But
definitely.
But it's sad. I think, and and not wearing it again. I'm not sure if this is right, but I think Alia Bhatt, obviously her suit wasn't heavy. She's it was like a really nice cream color, but I think she did wear her again to some sort of some auspicious event or something. She did wear, that's very rare to see.
Yeah. But I think she is totally different to most people.
Yeah.
She does have a mind of her own.
Yeah, she does.
Because she's so popular, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਲੋਕ ਮੇਰੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੀ ਕਹੋਗੇ.
Yeah.
And I think she is quite sensible.
Yeah.
You know, ਕਹਿਣਾ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਕਾਤੇ ਇੰਨੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਵੇਸਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਜੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਇੰਨਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਕੋਈ ਕੱਪੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ, which is very good to lead by example.
Yeah.
ਹੈ ਨਾ, to show other people that just because I'm a big star that I don't wear the same clothes again.
Yeah.
है ना, so I think that's a really good thing. बहुत ਵਧੀਆ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਪਾਏ ਹੋਰ ਫੰਕਸ਼ਨ ਤੇ. ਪਰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ, I mean, what do you think the reason is? You know, ਲੋਕ ਕਾਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ
ਵਾਪਸ,
forget about your wedding outfit.
Yeah,
ਪਰ
any
ਕੋਈ ਵੀ
ਕੱਪੜੇ
ਕੱਪੜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਕਾਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਮੇਨ ਫੰਕਸ਼ਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹ what is the reason ਕੀ ਆ? ਅੱਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ we didn't have much choice.
Yeah,
है
you
ना?
still wear it
ਪਹਿਲੇ
again.
ਦਿਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਇੰਨੇ ਚੋਇਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ. ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਈਜ਼ੀਲੀ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਟ ਤੋਂ ਮੰਗਾ ਲਓ, ਕੈਟਲੌਗ ਤੋਂ ਮੰਗਾ ਲਵੋ, ਫਰਿੰਡਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮੰਗਾ ਲਓ, ਸ਼ਾਪਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਲਓ. It is so many different ways to get clothes.
Yeah, I think the reason could
And
be,
go to India, of course.
I think the reason might be because they have this fear लोग कहेंगे and पैसे नहीं है कि can't they, you know, and are they going through some difficulties that they can't buy another suit, or it's something shame about wearing it again. And maybe everybody takes photos. So it was already displayed everywhere on social media, everyone. So they already seen my outfit, and they're going to see me again wearing the same one.
Hi.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
But if you're clever, I try and do this. I can wear the same outfit. I might just change something on it. It's the way you wear it again. I might wear it different in the jewelry or different dupatta. But there's a way you can wear it again.
Maximize it.
Yeah. So I like wearing things again, and I have got some of my Taj, the kapde, and when I do wear it now, people think, wow, where do you get that from? Not realise it's mera purana hai. But it's just you wear it differently with a different look, with a different hair. You can make it like a whole new piece and design.
Definitely.
So I think it's fun wearing things again. I love wearing it because apne purana they have some sentimental value as well.
And I think their style is different as well.
You feel different and you feel good, and there's so much, I don't know, some lovely memory or thought behind wearing that outfit.
And I think a lot of time and energy's gone into those kind of outfits as well.
Yeah.
Because they're made, handmade, aren't they? They're not mass produced. And they're probably one-off pieces as well, I would imagine.
Yeah. And I think the other day, last couple of weeks ago, I still kept a lot of the kapde medaj that my mum had stitched, and my mum used to stitch so beautifully, so good, proper lining like it, everything. And I kept most of them, probably loads of them, but there was a moment of thinking, I know I'm not going to wear them again. So I was holding on to them because the memory, the thought of my mum put so much effort into it. So when I was trying to sort of like get rid of them somehow, it was very difficult.
There's a story there, isn't there?
There's a story, and it wasn't easy for me to do that. I was telling my daughter, I've done it, but it was so hard. But then I'm about to fake out. I kept doing that.
We're all attached to different things.
And then there's a wedding coming up. I was telling her, and I thought, oh, I need to get some. I don't need to, but I thought, I saw something. I'm thinking, well, if I get these, then we rakhne ki the, because reason had to empty the cupboard, so it was just falling out. I was thinking,
like
and I thought, well, it is hard sometimes to separate yourself as something has so much meaning and sort of love in it.
Definitely. But would you wear your wedding outfit again now?
Because the kadai on it's gone a bit kharab, thodi ji ho gaya.
You can get that fixed, in India.
I know, but I've got my mom's wedding outfit that I'd love my daughter to wear. Not actually on the wedding day, but one of the ceremonies, so she could wear this. She got because all the apne mom that time they used to hand make it all, didn't they? The dupatta with the lovely gutta on it, and so I'd love my daughter to wear it sometime through her wedding ceremonies. It would fit her because I think she was the same sort of build as my mom. But my wedding outfit is beautiful. It's so heavy. The salwar's okay, the dupatta is so heavy. The kameez, I might change it to make it just a plain cerise. Then I can get away with it.
I know that somebody I know who had a beautiful absolutely exquisite lehenga, and she's customized it, changed the blouse, done something with the accessories and everything, and it just looks like a completely different outfit.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, there are ways to get around it, but कई बार ऐसी सोचते हैं भी लोग कोई सानू कुछ कह ना दे भी आ तो तेरा अगे पा, even though I don't think anybody would remember. अजकल मैंने लगता नहीं किसी ने चेता होगा किने की पाया किथे पाया, maybe your immediate family, but I don't think anybody knows. नाले सानू कईयां नू कोई परवाह भी नहीं हैगी भी तुसी की पाया की नहीं. But you know what the really bad thing is, बंदे ओही सूट हरेक ब्याह किसी ने नहीं उन्होंने कुछ कहना.
No,
it's bad, isn't it? I think that's really bad. But anyway, I mean, you know, my
Men
next
are
life,
lucky.
I want to be born a man. I've said
yeah,
that
just
to you
say
before.
men are lucky. They can wear the same stuff over and over again.
Yeah, just change their pug, maybe change their tie. That's it, job done. You know, it's so easy. Yeah, so that was an interesting thing to talk about. And the next thing we're going to discuss, what's your favourite thing to do on holiday? ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ holiday ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਕੀ ਅਸੀਂ enjoy ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ holiday ਜਾਣਾ? Not in the Bend. We're not talking about going to the Bend or, you know, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh or any other country. ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਹੋਟਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ and you're going to enjoy the country, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ country ਹੋਵੇ. So ਉਸ holiday ਬਾਰੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ.
Yeah, so I think the first initial thing, even if I get to my destination, I like the moment I've just checked in. Sman chala gaya.
Yeah.
Sman chala gaya. Hone. You feel relaxed. I don't know, something there. You think, oh, that was a big board, baggage has gone through. Now I'm going to go into duty free. I'll go a nice cup of tea or a nice sort of breakfast, depends what time. You want to treat yourself there, and just that's the feel, that get the buzz there. And I like that feeling. That feeling I only get at that time. It doesn't happen anywhere else. It's just that moment, the luggage is, everything's fine, it's gone through, and that's the bit I like first.
I mean, ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਤਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ, and we had a really really good laugh. ਕਰਕੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਦਿਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਲੋਕ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਸਲਵਾਰਾਂ ਪਾ ਲਈਆਂ, ਕਮੀਜ਼ ਪਾਏ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕੋਟ ਪਾਏ,
oh, they wear
all
it.
these things. They used to wear it, yeah.
Oh no.
Loads of dresses. ਕਰਕੇ ਉਦੋਂ ਉਹਨੀ ਦਿਨੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਲਈ ਸਮਾਨ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਸੀ. You had to take something for somebody in the village, like not
right.
just your own family. Anyway, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਲੇਡੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨੇ ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਸਲਵਾਰਾਂ ਪਾਈਆਂ ਸੀ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਨਾਲਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਲੱਭਦਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਸੀ ਬਾਥਰੂਮ ਨੂੰ. So that's a really funny
All the nalas got mixed up. Oh my goodness.
And then the other thing is, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਿਛਲੀ ਪੁਰਾਣੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਸੋਚੀਏ ਤਾਂ ਚਿੱਤ ਕਰੀਏ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਚੱਲ ਜਾਣਾ 에어ਪੋਰਟ ਤੇ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਲੋਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਏਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਫਲਾਈਟਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਟੇਚੀ ਖੁੱਲੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਨਾਲੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਲੜਾਈਆਂ ਹੋਣੀਆਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਹ ਕਾਤੇ ਪੈਕ ਕੀਤਾ ਆਹ ਕਾਤੇ ਪੈਕ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਫਿਰ ਪੈਸੇ ਦੇਣੇ ਪੈਣੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਜਾਂ ਕੱਢਣਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਜਾਂ ਮੋੜਨਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਸੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾਲ ਆਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ. ਪਰ the funniest thing, ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਫਨੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਇਹ ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਫੋਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਘਰ ਸਮਾਨ ਲੰਘ ਗਿਆ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਫਲਾਈਟ ਤੇ ਚੱਲਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਹਾਂ.
ਸਮਾਨ ਦਾ ਫਿਕਰ ਸੀ
ਵੀ ਬੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਫਲਾਈਟ ਤੇ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਗਿਆ ਬਸ ਸਾਡਾ ਸਮਾਨ ਲੰਘ ਗਿਆ ਫਿਰ ਹੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਹ ਆਉਣਾ ਸੀਗਾ. That's the funniest part.
That is.
It was just crazy. I mean, I still remember being at the airport and, you know, ਉੱਚਾ ਨੀਵਾਂ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਵੀ ਆਹ ਖਾਤੇ ਪੈਕ ਕੀਤਾ ਆਹ ਖਾਤੇ ਕੀਤਾ. Yeah, so the women get the blame for everything.
Yeah.
But it was funny. I mean, you know.
I think the other thing I like about holidays is like we can't pass the airport bit. I think it's just nice to be in a place where you don't have to cook. You know, somebody do your bed for you, somebody have your breakfast, and it's just nice to feel pampered. You know, I just think it feels that we deserve that time where we can just switch off from our normal chores and routine. And dress up and wear all your lovely summer dresses and chapla and obviously for me I like a warm country. That's my thing. I like a warm destination.
Definitely. I mean, unfortunately this country is not as warm as it used to be. Again, ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ summer ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, you know, you felt like it was a proper summer, but ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਇੱਥੇ. But the nicest thing about, you know, when you get off the flight and you feel that whoosh,
open the oven door,
honestly, and I just think, oh my God, we've arrived. And I just think that's the best part,
feeling,
not having to wear your cardigan, your jumper and socks and all those kinds of things. But I just love the activities on the sea. You know, when you can do lots of things, you can go on your boat rides, you can watch the sunrise or the sunset, all the beautiful things that you wouldn't get to do on a day-to-day thing if you lived in this country, unless you lived at, you know, near the beach. ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਆ. I mean, I still remember ਜਦੋਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੋਚਾਂ ਤੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ, we did it on radio, didn't we? ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਚਾਂ ਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ seaside ਨੂੰ, but here ਤੁਸੀਂ you can spend a whole week or 10 days just relaxing, reading and doing all the things ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੋਂ ਇਸ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂ ਇਸ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਦਾ just to you know, ਸਾਹ ਲੈਣ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਾਹ ਮਿਲਦਾ, you know, book ਤਾਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਪਾਸੇ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਹੋਣੀ ਆ, you know, you just don't get the little things you really enjoy to do. You can't switch off. So, and then there's the sightseeing, the markets and spending a bit of money or a lot of money,
gift buying,
and sometimes it's just getting away from your own family. I think
most of the time. I mean, I do prefer going on holidays just with my kids and the family. It's nice with friends. It depends. You have to be very careful.
Oh, I think so.
Friends and siblings.
I think you know, with friends, you're either going to make it or you're going to break it. You know, I think if you're just going through, I think with friends and family, it's got to be the time. कि तुसी घट तो घट time spend करो. I think you know, then you can still be friends. But ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ time, then you start getting on each other's nerves.
I know.
Everybody's got their own idea of what they want to do on holiday, so it can be difficult.
Sometimes it's funny talking about friends. So you can actually get to know certain people really well when you're away on holidays with them.
Definitely.
You know, in this country, you only have to spend a little time. They come around for tea or whatever, or program day. But even if it's half a day or full day already, but spending time with people on holiday, doesn't matter who it is, then you really get to know each other really well. I think, oh my gosh, it's sad in a way, because when you come back, you start to feel differently towards each other, and you start to sort of like, it is, unfortunately. So I think it's not really good to go with friends,
unless it's like a hen or something where everybody just
we haven't been on holiday together, we'll be fine. We'll be really we're just carry doing we'll be doing our show over there wherever we are. And
so the next thing I was going to ask you, what's your favourite country to visit? Sab to badhiya country tusi ki
I like places like where there's obviously it's warm country, and I like an eastern touch to it. I'm not very good with European countries. I mean, I've been to parts of Europe or America and in Florida. I still enjoy places like Dubai or Goa or those sort of places. Morocco. I just like that eastern feel
to it.
And the smell and the dressing up and
I mean, my daughter's put me off Marrakesh or Morocco because she said, Mum, there's loads of cats there, and I'm like,
you don't like cats? Oh, the billion, the sare passe. Really?
Just a little
bit. Really
my nephew's got 2, so hopefully I'll get over that, and then I'll be able to go. And because I do think Marrakesh is one of the, especially their lamps and all those things that they've got.
Beautiful. We went Christmas time a couple of years ago, but summer I think is a different experience. Christmas time we were like, unless you're under the sunlight, the sun. But at that time we were very cold then.
I think my favourite place would be just sort of big countries where you just get to travel and see all the sights, like nature more so, like the big waterfalls and those kind of things. And I'm thinking Australia, New Zealand, Japan, because it's just such a different lifestyle to how we live, and I think the countryside, the landscape is just so different and so massive, and the expanse and everything. And I think it's that sense of freedom and of being on the road and travelling. Like if I could drive, if I had the confidence to do it, I would do it. But unfortunately,
I think one place I'd love to go soon is Bali, because I like spiritual
my kids have been there.
I like spiritual land, because Thailand was a very spiritual experience for me, and because I'm really into the Buddhist teachings and everything. And
we're going to be doing a program on Buddhism
soon. Buddhism is coming up soon. So any spiritual land where I feel such a strong connection. So Thailand was a place where especially Chiang Mai, and I got to know more about Buddhist wife there than Buddhist himself. We don't talk about the Buddhist wife. She's so amazing. All her teachings was learning how to be, not to be dependent. It's all about you know, nurturing herself, that you don't need a man to her to connect with her true nature. So that was something I learned when I went to Thailand.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely. And we'll have to do a program where it's about the Buddhist wife. Not
It
just
is,
the
yeah.
Buddhist.
I remember getting so emotional and tearful. Yeah, it takes you back not to be dependent.
Yeah, something that we both love. So the next thing we're going to chat about was, what are or was your worst flight passenger experience? ਵੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਫਲਾਈਟ ਤੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, ਦੂਰ ਹੋਵੇ ਲਾਗੇ ਹੋਵੇ, ਵੀ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ we get a real trauma, ਚਾਹੇ ਹਾਸਾ ਹੋਵੇ or you know, ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਕੁਝ ਗਲਤ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਵੇ. So yeah, do you remember anything?
I don't have a particular memory with people, but for me it's just the flight as itself, because I'm so scared of turbulence.
Yeah.
I'm bored out of here, turbulence. So, and so I've had quite a few of those horrible experiences. But people situation, maybe the worst probably was a baby. It wasn't right next to me, a baby, probably a couple of hours down, and I just cried for hours and hours. And I mean, I don't sleep anyway, but the people who are trying to sleep, you can see some of them get really agitated. And the parents, I felt sorry for them, especially the mum. She tried everything, and sometimes it's just one of those things. But
I think sometimes it can be the
pressure and everything.
Yeah, the pressure, definitely.
So I have not had anything really major happen, but I know you were sharing with me a while ago. I mean, yours sounds like if I go on holiday with you, I know something's bound to happen, because you seem to have loads of interesting stories.
It's always fun, but I mean, one of my cousins knows this story because I told her it. I was going to India on my own because I think my husband's granddad wasn't very well, so I decided I wanted to go and see him. And then for some reason I decided to get off at Delhi.
You're supposed to get off where?
I was supposed to get off at Amritsar.
Okay, Pelle.
I mean, it was bad enough me doing it for myself, but the lady that was with me, she goes, oh, are we going to get off here? And I said, yeah. And then I realised that we couldn't have got off there, and I tried to get back in through the gates to say, let me back on the plane. And they're like, no. I was like, oh. And you know what, I was so embarrassed. I should have got off at Amritsar and I got off at Delhi. So everybody was worried about me, the family in India and the family back here. But at the time, and then this woman, I had no money either. I had like my cards and everything, but you couldn't use them. And this woman, and all I had to eat was misran dal and a bit of roti. All the way 8 hours. Because this lady, obviously she wasn't sure whether I was going to give her the money back. And it's the worst experience. But I remember her flapping, going, honky hoga. And I was like, I felt so bad dragging her off of the aeroplane with me. But I mean, it's a story, it's just a funny story.
But then you learned something there, didn't you, next time?
Next time. Never get off the aeroplane without checking with everybody. That's what it meant to be. Bit of an asman bhi chala gaya si. But anyway, thank God it all worked out. There was no major drama.
Have you had a situation where you sat next to someone you've had a real problem with?
Well, I didn't have a problem with her. She had a problem with me because obviously we got off at the wrong place. But yeah, I mean, kade jadon assi bende a flightan te ta bacha wala banda, they obviously may be drinking too much, but ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਫਿਰ ਬਾਰ-ਬਾਰ ਬਾਥਰੂਮ ਜਾਣਾ ਬਾਰ-ਬਾਰ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਫਿਰ ਇੱਕ ਦੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਐਂਡ ਵਾਲੀ ਸੀਟ ਲੈ ਲਓ, ਮੇਰੀ ਸੀਟ ਲੈ ਲਓ, ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਵਿਚਾਲੇ ਬਹਿਣਾ ਆ. So that's like, you know, you just think let's compromise ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ, you know. And another time I did go to Barcelona and ਉੱਥੇ 3 ਆਦਮੀ ਸੀਗੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਬੈਠੇ, ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ ਸੀਟ ਖਾਲੀ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗੀ, ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ ਜੱਫੀਆਂ ਪਾਈ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਤਾਂ ਦੂਜੇ ਮਿੰਟ ਲੜਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ. So I was just like, I couldn't wait. ਵੀ ਛੇਤੀ ਆ flight ਤੋਂ ਉਤਰੀਏ and you know, they can get on with their life. But that was a lot of drama. It was funny at the time, but not so funny as well.
There are some times what I see which I find so irritating and annoying, that there's turbulence going on, there's so much racket, there's noise, and these people just sleep throughout it.
I know.
How do they do it?
I think sometimes people take a tablet, you know.
Do you think so?
Goli ja glassi.
One of those two, maybe both.
Yeah.
But they just sleep throughout.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh God, I wish I could do that.
Definitely.
Because
no.
then suffer da pata nahi lagda, does
Yeah.
it? Before when you wake up, oh, pahunch gaye.
Yeah.
For me, the flight, it just goes on. If 2 ਘੰਟੇ ਦੀ flight howe, 10 ਘੰਟੇ ਦੀ, it just goes on and on and on.
I know.
I
I just hate the
When it
lift
goes-
off,
yeah.
and I hate the landing.
landing.
It's just
yeah.
I find that quite scary.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the next thing we were going to talk about is Meryl Streep. Ek lady, she's a Hollywood actress, and she said such a great passage, and मैं share on social media, but I wanted to share it here with you as well. I have a I've already said that for some reason. So over time, I stopped talking to those who didn't listen to me, and those who always wanted to be right. I stopped looking for people who would never look for me. I started doing what makes me feel good without excess but with passion. I started to trust my intuition for everything, for every choice, for every person. I started avoiding negative people and started meeting the rare positive people, because I learned to respect myself and started to put myself first, because I think I deserve it. Meryl Streep at the age of 74. So ਇਸ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਲੇਡੀ ਆ ਜਿਹਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਤੋਂ ਸੀਗੀ, ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨੇ ਆਹ ਪੈਸੇਜ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਆ ਕਿ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੋਲਣੋਂ ਹਟ ਗਈ ਸੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਇੰਨਾ ਬੁਲਾਉਂਦੇ, ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਟੋਲਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਟੋਲਣੋਂ ਹਟ ਗਈ ਸੀਗੀ। ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗ ਪਈ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਮਾਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੰਮ ਮੈਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਸੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ, that made me feel good, ਉਹ ਮੈਂ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗ ਪਈ ਸੀਗੀ। ਤਾਂ ਨਾਲੇ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ I didn't feel guilty about what I was doing। ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ what do you call intuition, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਅੰਦਰਲੀ ਹਵਾ ਸੀਗੀ, gut feeling in Punjabi
ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਚ ਕੀ ਹੈ
gut feeling, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਕਤੀ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਆ, ਉਹ ਸਾਡੀ ਅੰਦਰਲੀ ਹਵਾ।
I think it's right.
Anyway, it's like what our intuition ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਆ ਵੀ ਆ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਆ। ਅਸੀਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ ਕਰਨ, we're going to make ourselves happy, ਵੀ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਆ। So ਹਰੇਕ ਸਰੀਰ ਲਈ every person ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਰੈਂਡਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨੇ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੈਂ ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵ ਪੀਪਲ ਕੋਲ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣਾ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਅਪਲਿਫਟ ਕਰਦੇ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੈਂ ਅਪਲਿਫਟ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਮੈਂ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਲਾਫਿੰਗ
I'm bothering now because मैं सोची जानी है पंजाबी च intuition की है। If you do know, तो थानू पता है because we're still learning। There's a number here 00300 I think office का number है। तो
Yeah, it's
I think the other hawa.
No, I knew you'd say that. So I started so negative people ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਦੂਰ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ, and ਵੀ ਉਹਨੇ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਦਰ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ, ਆਪਣੀ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ। ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਆ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਰੀ ਉਮਰ ਮੇਰੀ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਲੰਘ ਗਈ ਹੈ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ ਕਰਨਾ। but it's more about ਉਹਨੇ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਸੀ ਵੀ I deserve it, ਕਿ ਵੀ ਜੇ ਹੁਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਦੋਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਕਾਹਤੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਗਰ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਜਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ, ਟੋਲਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ, they don't care about me. That's kind of what she's saying. So what do you think about that?
It is good, but it's nice to be aware of that when you're much younger.
Yeah,
I mean, she did it when she's 74. It's still good.
I mean, she may have written it a long time ago. We don't know.
Yeah, but it is something that we waste so much of our precious time and energy thinking because we're so desperate to be liked and to be accepted, because we think our worth is dependent on other people's yeah. So but they in that sort of pattern of behavior, we lose precious peaceful moments in our lives because I see under pressure, stress na rehne. But it's so easy, I'm going to do what's happy for me, because ਰੱਬ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਸ਼ਰੀਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ। ਕੀ ਹੋ ਜੇ ਨਾ if I decided to say I don't fancy going there, ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ, what's the worst that can happen? Nothing really. We're just scared of being disliked, but we're not really liking ourselves to, if we can't be honest enough to say, you know what, I've done enough for all of you. It doesn't mean to see teeth bande self-conceited. So I mean just without, like with my children, I'm really good healthy and good for my children if I really invest in taking care of myself, pursuing things that make me happy. Je main khush haan, my bachche are happy because my bachche want to grow up not worrying that mom da ki hoga, you know, because she needs someone to comfort her, to take care of her. At least my kids can pursue what they want to do, knowing that I'm okay, I'm happy in my world, pursuing things I'm happy with. So it actually creates more strength and bond in your relationships.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੈਸਨ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਲੇਟ ਸਿੱਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਅਸੀਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਐਂਡ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਖੁਸ਼ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਖੁਸ਼ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ, ਪਰ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੈਗੇ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਆਲੇ ਦੁਆਲੇ ਵੀ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਹੋਣਾ ਆ, ਯੂ ਨੋ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਦਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ। ਪਰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਦਰ ਕਰਨੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਆ, ਇਟਸ ਸੋ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਵੀ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਹੀ ਆਉਣੀ ਆ। ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਵੀ ਫਲਾਨਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ ਕਰੂਗਾ, ਉਹ ਖੁਸ਼ ਕਰੂਗਾ, ਉਹਨੇ ਨੇ ਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਯੂ ਨੋ, ਉਹਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੈਗੀ। ਪਰ ਸਾਡੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ, ਸਾਡੀ ਗਮੀ, ਜੋ ਕੁਛ ਵੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਸਾਡੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਆ। ਕਿ ਇਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਔਖਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਆਊਗਾ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਚਿੱਕੜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੈਠੇ ਰਹੀਏ। ਨੋ, ਯੂ ਨੋ, ਟਰਾਈ ਐਂਡ ਹੈਲਪ ਯੋਰਸੈਲਫ to enjoy your life, you know. Akhiyaiyaan ta okay time ta har ek te hunde a, but it's the way we deal with them, the way we handle them, and the way we move forward, understanding ਵੀ ਜਿਹਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਾਥ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਉਹ ਆ ਮੇਰੇ ਦੋਸਤ ਸਾਥ ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ। ਤਾਂ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੋਦਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਉਹ ਬਿਜ਼ੀ ਸੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਟਾਈਮ 'ਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਤੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਔਖਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਆਇਆ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਕਿ ਠੀਕ ਆ ਉਹ ਆਪਣਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੀਏ। ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੁੱਸੇ ਹੋਣਾ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਟਾਈਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੱਢਿਆ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਯੂ ਨੋ what I mean, I think everybody's got their own difficulties in their lives and we don't know what really goes on.
It's what biggest I think problem we have is because ਸਾਡੇ ਬਹੁਤ expectations ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ। Expectations the root, you know, of all sadness and hurt and misery
suffering.
and pain, suffering.
Yeah.
So we have to let go expectations, you know, thinking I'm doing all of this but I expect something in return. Just do it because hanu khushi mildi hai. I know we repeat this so much and we will continue always repeat this because it's very strong, our values and principles, and it's all about, we only learn through repetition. We say it once or twice or 3 times, it doesn't work. So we constantly up a switch. We know this stuff, but we jaan ke fir we repeat it again and again. So reinforcing it into our subconscious, that becomes a normal way of pattern of behaving, because we can easily ego jehde hunde na, it will find a way to sneak in and go into that same old destructive pattern. So the more we speak about, you know, let go of expectation, do what makes you happy, as we say it so often, that's the only way we can sort of conquer this, you know, the self-destructive ego that wants to, you know, obviously, you know, drain us from our power that we have.
Yeah, because you know, the reason we do love Laugh Live is to just show that you can enjoy your life every day. ਇਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ, you know, when you know there's a boy in the family or ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਨਿਆਣੇ ਦਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਦੋਂ ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਮਿਲਣੀਆਂ। ਖੁਸ਼ੀ, happiness is about every single day. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੋਂ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਲੱਭ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਕੋਈ ਇਵੈਂਟ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੋਣਾ ਆ। ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਦੈਟਸ ਉਹੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਰੀਰ 'ਤੇ ਅਸਰ ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮਨ 'ਤੇ ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵ ਅਸਰ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਵੇਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ। ਸੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਯੂ ਨੋ ਅਪਰੀਸ਼ੀਏਟਿੰਗ ਟੁਡੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਚਲੋ 6 ਮਹੀਨਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵਿਆਹ ਹੋ ਜਾਊਗਾ, ਆ ਹੋ ਜਾਊਗਾ, ਫਿਰ 6 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਉੱਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਚਲ ਗਈ।
So that's good.
And now we're going to talk about Lapata Ladies. ਨਾਲੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਫਿਲਮ ਦੇਖੀ, please watch it. It's a very good film. ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ enjoy ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ. It's on Netflix. And ਇਹ story ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ 10 ladies ਬਾਰੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ, but we can tell you something. ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਫਿਲਮ ਤੋਂ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ. And the most important thing is it's about empowerment, it's about resilience, it's about faith, hope. Lots of positive things, and the main thing is that ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ actors ਸੀਗੀਆਂ ਇਸ show ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, they weren't very famous, but Dav's going to go into it.
So like you said, it's a masterpiece of a movie, and Kiran Rawat, the producer, she's actually, I think she's Amir Khan's ex-wife now,
yeah.
I think. I'm not sure. We just need to check that. But Amir Khan ta sare jante hain. He's actually was the producer of this movie, and Kiran Rao, she was actually the director. She's a very well-renowned director in India now, because the movies banande India they have a very strong message in there, and it's all about, and this movie actually is captivating because it shows that you don't need bade stars jidda hunde Shah Rukh Khan, Akshay Kumar. It is all about quality and the contents, and we really recommend to watch this movie because there's a hidden gem of a movie this is. And so it's like a comedy drama, and it isn't just entertainment. It's a refreshing breath of tackling serious social issues India che bhi hunde, especially pindan de vich, but she tackles it with grace and charm. That's why I love this movie, because she's so brilliant, this lady, and it's skillfully blending humor, because that's what we love, and it's the sensitivity to deliver a movie with a hard-hitting social message. We like that word, don't we?
But this is
social. This is where Bollywood, mainstream, it sort of miserably fails and sending these sort of real powerful messages. So anyway, this movie, it will leave you feeling so uplifted and so enlightened. It's like a roller coaster of all these emotions, and a film that takes you on an unforgettable journey. And as soon as you dekunge from shuru to the end, you're thinking, wow, and you learn so much from it, and it really inspires women and men. I think men enjoyed it as well. So honestly, don't miss out on this Lapata Ladies. It's more than just a movie. It's a celebration of womanhood, resilience, and the transformational power of storytelling. And do honestly watch it, otherwise you're going to regret it. So there's a story with focusing on 3 women, I think, mainly in this movie. Obviously, they showed they could India the which, and due to the weddings take out there sometimes, but they used to have the similar sort of style hunda si, ohi same dupatta, chunni and everything.
And they do the cond.
Yes, and we won't tell you too much of the story because you want to watch it. But anyway, they're on the train, there's a couple of brides that look the same. So they've just been married and they're going back to their pind, or and so story about two brides. The story, the other ladies actually who works on the station platform. So
strong
anyway,
characters.
but they all got the individual stories, but it all comes down to how each one of them, they sort of like didn't give up. They had their resilience, and how they just trusted and had faith that things will work out for them, but they didn't give up on their inner desire and their dream. So obviously one of the ladies who got married, she did want to be married, she wanted to pursue her career, but she accidentally ended up, confusion ji hogi sigi, and because of a long train trip, and she ended up going with the wrong, because so you couldn't tell, they were curtly
covered.
It was dark, she went with the wrong husband, and the husband apparently were in the same suits as well. And so she went with the wrong, and I think the first one, Janki, she went because she didn't want to be married to that person, because he only married her because Taj Karke scooter chedas in this and that. But his actual wife that got left behind, she ended up with the wrong guy, the dodgy one. But anyway, she runs away from him.
I'm not telling too much about the story.
It sounds a bit confusing, I know, at the moment, but when you watch it, but it's all about these 3 people and how it unfolds, but how they do eventually, because they didn't give up, they did end up having the life they wanted. So it's really worth watching. It's both the mazedar story, but very inspirational, and it just shows you don't have to be, these ladies were, one of them wasn't really educated, but still she had faith. The other one was educated. She was in, she was into farming, something.
Agriculture.
That's it. And so she wanted to study at a university, but kafi sharzi, so she knew more than the men. So she ended up in the wrong household, but she's still able to manage to help them out. So they're like, wow, even though we brought the wrong bride home, but she was so beneficial to them. She taught the men so much the men didn't know. So they're showing that women, we shouldn't underestimate how incredibly intelligent they are, because Pinda they're thinking women shouldn't study. Here just showing that studying actually helps the whole community, it helps India, it helps, so the economy. So women are very, very important part of everybody's, you know, health and well-being, and you know, so, and the other one Jedi Sigi, innocent Sigi, and she was so good at just being a household typical wife, but she had a talent of cooking, and her innocence and her purity and her love for her husband. Only chaddi, she goes, I one day will vapas auga. And then
she was lost. Totally lost.
And you know the other story of the other lady, the one on the platform.
I mean, the third woman, although she wasn't one of the brides, because the main two characters were brides, but the third lady was just, she played a really important role. Or train track the kam kardi si, she was selling like tea and food and a bit of like, you know, just the rakshe wale and those kind of people. What do they call them? Trolley?
They're coolies and things.
Yeah, the coolies pick the suitcases up. And but she just had she had a little place on the train track, not on the train track.
On the side platform.
On the platform, not on the train track. She used to sell it to all the passengers or the workers. And kalli kam kar dendi sigi with maybe like two people who were kind of mada mota kam kardi si olle. And only if a story dassi jehdi the girl, one of the brides that was lost, they kind of took her and ਉਹਨੇ ਉਹਦੀ look after ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ ਥੋੜੇ ਚੱਲੇ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਕੁੜੀ ਨੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਵੀ ਤੇਰਾ ਹਸਬੈਂਡ ਤੇਰੇ ਕੋਈ ਨਿਆਣੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਕੰਮ ਸਾਰਾ ਕਰਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਮੈਂ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸ਼ਰਾਬ ਪੀਣੀ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੁੱਟਣਾ ਮਾਰਨਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਕੰਮ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਘਰ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਲਿਆਉਂਦੀ ਮੈਂ ਘਰ ਵੀ ਚਲਾਉਂਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਮੈਂ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਮਾੜੀ ਮੋਟੀ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਮਦਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ they don't help me ਨਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਹਸਬੈਂਡ ਨਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਘਰੋਂ ਕੱਢਤਾ ਬਾਹਰ which is very unusual but ਉਹਨੇ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਣਾ ਵੈਲਿਊ ਕੀਤਾ ਵੀ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤੇ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਤਾਂ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ you know because I'm trying to provide for the family but ਮੇਰੇ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਛਿੱਤਰ ਪੈਂਦੇ ਆ so there's no point ਵੀ ਇਹ ਆਪਣਾ ਰਾਹ ਦੇਖਣ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਰਾਹ ਦੇਖੂੰਗੀ so she inspired that girl she created a business for herself she had enough money just to live and to be happy you know and I think that's so important ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਲੈਣੀਆਂ you know some people can be happy just ticking along life, you know getting having a small income.
She had enough to feed herself.
Yeah, and to have a little home as well. So she was a very inspiring person. But karke she decided that I'm not going to carry on. ਉਹਨੂੰ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਨ 'ਚ ਗੱਲ ਸੋਚ ਲਿਆ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਹਨਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਰੀ ਉਮਰ ਬਸ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਕੱਟ ਕਟਾਪਾ whatever ਵੀ ਹਸਬੈਂਡ ਵੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀ ਫਿਰ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਵੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਿਆ why should she so for women that's very inspiring ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਸੋਚੀਦਾ ਵੀ ਬਸ ਕਿਸਮਤ ਆ ਵੀ ਬਸ ਆ ਮੇਰੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਉਮਰ ਲੰਘ ਗਈ this ਪਰ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਕਾਫੀ she was quite old and ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਉਹਨੇ decide ਕੀਤਾ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ no more I'm not going to carry on with this
see most of the time I don't know, mostly Asian ladies, we get stuck in a relationship thinking we can't survive without the husband. We're dependent on them to provide for us. They need a roof over their head, and especially having their name. We without that husband next to us, so koi duniya kadar nahi karoge. We have no worth in our life. So we end up staying in a situation where it's not healthy. It's very toxic, and it's very dangerous in the sense that they won't survive. But then she was still alone in that relationship, even though her husband was there. Very kalli sigi. So she thinks, "I'm kalli already hegi. Why can't I be kalli and be in a place where I feel safe, where I can be qadar kar sakti, where I can be used to other people who would value my skill of she used to cook and so she was so empowering, thinking there's a lot of women think I can't survive on my own. What am I going to do without my husband or under this roof? How am I going to make a living? So it shows you these poor people in India and those sort of dire circumstances, she still made a life for herself. You know, but now she was kalli, but she was kalli in the sense that she valued her being alone. Pala she didn't value being alone because she was suffering, but now she wasn't suffering anymore, and that she showed it's okay to be alone because you can still be alone and enjoy it. You still got meaning and purpose in her life. So running that little cafe or whatever it was, dhaba you can call it.
That's what it is.
Chota ja dhaba on the train platform. She still live rest of life with self-respect and not live rest of life dar ke.
Yeah.
So living that life where she felt safe in her own little world of her own. And that was so inspiring to see her story in that movie.
I mean, and she was inspiring for the girl as well. करके उन्हें फिर ओदी थोड़ी कुछ चल जिनचर ओदा husband नहीं सी आया. She looked after her, and then the girl started making some kind of mithai or something. And then they started selling that, and that became quite popular. So, you know, she inspired her. I mean, who knows? She may, you know, if there was a second episode to Lapata Ladies, maybe she'll have a business of her own, and maybe the other one will, you know, be
come and help
part
her
of the agricultural side of things. So it's a really good film that shows that, you know, jidda marji hove, life can take a really positive turn, and it can all work out, but it's about the belief that we have in terms of कि साड़ी गल बन जानी जितना मर्जी होवे, or it's about us deciding that we're not going to put up with poor behaviour कि मैं कहती साड़ी उम्र कट खावा जा जिथे कोई मेरी नहीं कदर करता भी उधर नाल मैं कल्ली चंगी हां जा कल्ला चंगा है could be
exactly. So उत्थे story च जिथे लगदा oh my god आ की हो गया, you know, उत्थे a separation हो गई, people are lost, or what looks like a problem or a crisis, actually that had to happen, and happens in all our lives. जिथे मुश्किल आ रही है और मुश्किल दे विच कोई राह, कोई सही राह आ रहा है. So that's what usually the story also trying to help us, to make us aware that whenever we encounter some sort of atrocity or a conflict or a problem, it is actually putting us on the path we would otherwise would have gone.
I mean, you know, I mean, I really, really enjoyed this film. It is definitely, I don't know, I don't think it's that long to watch. Probably only a couple of hours. But it is so relatable, because you can just think, well, I mean, ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਆਂ ਵੀ ਕਿਦਾਂ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਕੀਤਾ, like the two main characters, be how would I feel if I was lost on a train track on my own, newly married, and not understanding what is going to happen to me. I think that's just really, really worrying. But again, it's got humour in it, it's got so many different amazing aspects to it. It's definitely worth a watch.
It is, and I could easily watch it again.
I know.
One of the movies I could watch again.
Actually, definitely.
So now we're going to talk about, it's one of these did you know things. We do a lot of these did you knows, and we learn a lot from it. So okay, so did you know, right, drinking 3 cup cha de din de vich could extend your life, so di umar vad sakdi hai, right? Researchers from a university in China which surveyed that 5,000 British bande aged 37 to 73, in addition to 7,000 people in China between the ages of 30 and 79, regarding, they did a survey regarding the cha di habit se bare. And उन्होंने पता लग गया जिहड़े ज़्यादा consistent चाह पींदे हैं ना, हमेशा पींदे हैं, they showed signs of slow aging. We did a topic last week about how to slow your aging down. So most of those people were male, so ate a healthier diet and were less likely to experience anxiety and insomnia. So Gudel, why do you think that is?
I don't know. I haven't got a clue.
What do you think? So why male more? So what would slow down the aging? I think, okay, let's say when we drink tea, what intentions do we drink the tea? So we're busy in our days and we're doing something.
I think it helps us to relax.
It's an automatic thing. Okay, tea means time for a break. So otherwise, if we're not having any breaks, we're constantly, again, we're in that beta waves. That means that the constant thinking brain, ah karna, eh karna, oh karna, eh kyun nahi kita, kinna time pe hai. So we're constantly thinking kuch karna. So we're in this, we are all in a stress phase. So if we're in chronic stress phase, what's going to happen? We are speeding up our aging process, and we are going to we use them up quickly. Because we're breathing faster when we're in stress phase. But more teas you have during the day, more we're getting out of the stress phase, and from momentarily we're going into regeneration, where we're actually calming down. So more tea breaks you have, the more we're getting out of stress phase. Like you said, stress is the biggest killer, isn't it?
Definitely.
So I think why males more than women? So
the women were making the tea for the men.
Could be. No, I think women, okay, I do this. So women, when they're having tea, and it's not a good thing, even they have tea breaks, I'm still thinking, oh, cha pi ke e karna, oh kalya sika, oh kallo bhi karna. I still think,
Yeah.
and we women have a tendency to multitask. Men can't multitask, so can do one thing at a time. So men are having tea, they're literally just having their tea. But ladies have a tendency to multitask.
Yeah,
So I think that's why men are likely to have a more, and experience less anxiety and insomnia. So I don't know, this is my interpretation of it.
See, now my interpretation of that is, bande beh ke kehna bhi chal cha da cup le aa. So the lady goes and brings the tea,
Yeah.
and one idha karna, she'll be in the kitchen drinking her tea while she's doing something else. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, anyway,
That's why they're
I
doing
think this show Mukkanwala, we're going to have a nice long cup of tea
Yeah.
and relax. And to Sivi Zuru cha piyo, and lots of cha piyo, and masale wali.
I love how you say it, lots of cha piyo.
Lots of cha. Cha piyo
Punjabi
karo.
to saadi English naal hi chaldi hai.
Yes, and haldi wala dudh bhi pee liya karo.
Yeah,
Bhi bahut acha hai
definitely.
thode
I don't
waste.
like that, but still.
Coffee, I don't know about coffee, but I think anything you have that gives you a break is good for
And
you.
helps you to relax.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Hope you really enjoyed the show.
We did.
And we know we did. And it's all about love, laugh, and live.
Pyar karo, hassa de chuk chuk jiye wala show.